So this is a picture of me at my lowest. Malnourished, dead broke, stressed out, frustrated, underweight, sick, couldn't make any sort of momentum in my life. If I did, I would self-sabotage. Terrible relationships, never left the house, no sense of self-confidence, right? I was a ghost pretty much. Now this is me just over 30 days later, making the most money I've ever made in my life, the fittest and strongest I've ever been, the best relationships, the person I've always wanted ended up reaching out to me, built a successful AI education business. That is me right now. The way I got from that version of me to the better peak version of me, which I am now, I'm proud to say, is through what's called deep mind programming. It's the fastest growing method of hypnotherapy in the world. I've never had to go to the gym 7 days a week. I've never had to lift incredibly heavy. I've never had to do any crazy fancy dietary methods, and none of the clients I work with need to do anything of that nature either. Because when you rewire your brain and thus you rewire your body will naturally be programmed to reject certain foods, reject certain activities, reject certain content that it knows it's not good for it. That is the power of programming the subconscious brain. It feels effortless, and thus you are able to take the shortest path from where you are to where you know you can be. So what happens is everything in our life is a result of our conditioning, right? So I was never able to do more than I was programmed to do, right? So anytime you make a bit of momentum in your life, you'll always shrink back down to the level of your programming until you rewire it. But the issue is rewiring that. Number one, you have to have the knowledge of how to do so properly. Number two, it takes a very long time. We're talking years. I had the fortune of studying under the #1 meditation instructor in the world. If you see my previous videos, you know my story. From there, I was introduced to hypnosis and hypnotherapy. I added on intuition training to that, and training the mind-body connection. All of these things put together, I was able to package into what's called deep mind programming, which I've now helped thousands of people do successfully and get the life that they desire, because you deserve to live a life that is worth living. I want you to imagine yourself in your peak state. What kind of body would you have? What kind of money would you make? Where would you be going? What would people be saying about you? How much more would they respect you when you're that confident, radiant version of yourself? That is only one mindset shift away. The reason why deep mind programming is so powerful is because it's the fastest way to get permanent change immediately. It is the laser eye surgery version of rewiring the subconscious brain. A lot of times people get scared about what it might cost, but they don't realize what is costing them not being the best version of yourself. You're not having the relationships you want. You're not making the money you want, which is likely in the high 6 figures, if not 7 figures. You're not having the self-confidence you want. So all of these things put together dwarfs the amount that a session of hypnotherapy costs, right? But if you want to learn how to hypnotize yourself, I mean, first you got to learn how to meditate to a professional expert level, okay? You got to learn to put yourself in trance, which is hypnotherapy. Then you have to learn how to guide yourself and tell your brain the right things to find the trauma that caused your current programming, and then the right things to rewire your brain for success, not only momentarily, but permanently. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. But if you're ready to make that dramatic change, hit the link in my bio. Let's get to work. Book a free consultation with me.